Greetings, family. Greetings to every one of us. Hope we are all doing great on this wonderful set apart day of the Feast of Hanukkah, best known as the Feast of Dedication. Abba Yahuwah Elohim has brought you and I into just to feast before Him, to celebrate before Him, to jubilate before Him. Hope you are all doing wonderfully in it. As for me, I'm jubilating over here because it is another call to dance on the dragon's head, which is Allah. It is another call to dance on the head of the beast, which is Pork Jesus Christ. It is another day to celebrate over the downfall of our enemy, the Grecians Empire, the goat system, the goat empire that still have its fulfillment in this very last day. I'm celebrating it already. Abba Yahweh has done it before. He crushed them already. Only for you to know that which has already been done for you. And just come into it and begin to say, thank you, Abba. Because this feast, it was the movement of anti-Mashiach, the one you call anti-Messiah. So, in other words, this feast took place even before the birth of the biblical Messiah. All right, it's to have it. And this great deliverance took place still in BCE. History have this book called the first and second book of Maccabees. That was awesome. That was Abba Yahuwah powerful movement, even before the birth of Yahushua. History still have it until date. All right now, are we ready for this today? Can we look into this wonderful feast and what brought about it, the deliverance? Can we do that together formally? When I'm saying let's do it together, simply me borrow your ears to Abba Yahuwah. The book says, let him that have ear hear what the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, is saying to the congregation. Congregation is not a building, it's just you and I. So let us first of all put in the title. Lift Yahuwah higher, higher, oh. 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 Hey, lift Yahuwah higher, higher, oh. Lift Yahuwah higher, higher, oh. Him alone is worthy to be celebrated. Don't celebrate your enemy. We are coming over there, okay? First of all, going to be putting the title, and I will look into the greatness of Abba Yahuwah. He will do it again. And lift Yahuwah, yeah, yeah, oh. Lift Yahuwah, yeah, yeah, oh. Lift Yahuwah, yeah, yeah, oh. He has done it before. He's going to do that wonderful movement again, because this feast has to do with the movement of anti-Mashiach. When he desecrates the temple, when he prevents the temple, and I begin to usher us in demonic celebration. Why should you celebrate your enemy? We are going there right now. Lift Yahuwah, Yahaya. Lift Yahuwah, Yahaya. Lift Yahuwah, Yahaya. Him alone you need to lift higher in a time like this. You don't need to celebrate demon. You ought not to do that. With this being said, here we are in the heavenly courtroom of Abba Yahuwah with this powerful message titled for you and I, Feast of Hanukkah. It is also the Feast of Tabernacles, YAHUSHUA'S birthday, not Pork Jesus Christmas. That is your enemy you ought not to celebrate. History have this, the very wonders of Abba Yahuwah want to recant for you. Though this you can find this in the Old Testament, but New Testament have it. Is being called over the dedication. Of course, that is what Hanukkah is. In the holy language, it's called Hanukkah. In English, dedication. So what happened? Why your temple needs to be rededicated back unto Abba Yahuwah? And also why the feast of Hanukkah is also the feast of Tabernacles. So we want to look into that. Actually, on this day, that is the day Messiah entered into the womb. For someone to be birthed, okay, September, you needs to be that conception needs to take place on December. Okay, so our Messiah in Gentile calendar entered the womb on the December 15th. But in the biblical calendar, it was on the 7th month. Excuse me. Now he was birthed on the 7th month. Okay. But in the Gentiles calendar, he entered the womb on this very day. So they thought they made it for evil. But Abba Yahuwah have his own plan, powerfully working. Lift Yahuwah, haya haya. Lift Yahuwah, ya ya ya. Lift Yahuwah, haya haya. It is another call to dance on the head of the pork of Jesus Christ, your enemy. It is another call to celebrate the downfall of Jesus Christ, your enemy. He came to desecrate the temple. This has been there. Isn't the first time. It's not new. He has been there even before the birth of Yahushua HaMashiach. All right, now let us begin to feed it now with the word of Abba Yahuwah. Let me tell you. If you are a born Gentile, you are not needed here. If this turns your stomach, and that is how you're going to know you are the goat empire, please go away from me, okay? Just go away from me. You can't benefit from it. Neither will you. Neither will I. Excuse me. Okay, how am I going to be benefiting from you when you come into the camp of Abba Yahuwah? We celebrate Yahweh together. That is all the benefits. We sing one music. That is all the benefits. So how are you going to be benefiting from? You just take the word of Abba Yahuwah and do what the book says. But if you say you are against this to therefore, no, you came, know yet that you came from the goat empire. Matthew 25 have it. The goat, they can't get it. Matthew 25 have it. The goats, they can't really know. They don't really know the ways of Abba Yahuwah. So that's why they missed it. They are the goats. So the goat system is over here. So when this turn your stomach, know yet that you are just the goat and just get out of here. Matthew 7 verses 6 said, don't give what is sacred, what is holy, unto pig and dogs. Now, salvation is too holy. Salvation is too expensive. I can't give it to you because you're going to mess it up. Run out of here, okay? So the word that this message is being sent out for, they're going to cut the vision. It's in the book, you carry. You don't need this. But what we are engaged with, I'm not engaged to celebrating Christmas. You are pagan. Pagan always do pagan things. But stop masking it up with our book. Stop masking Babylon with our book. That is the abomination in it. Stop masking up the biblical Messiah character with pork Jesus. That is an abomination. Celebrate pork Jesus. Just do it in Babylonian's way. You don't have no problem. But don't stop deceiving us with our own book. Stop twisting our book. Stop twisting our father's words, in order to get our attention. All right, now with this being said, not by sensation or emotional radiation, burning, power, signal, but by the royal law subjective, I want to look into why the feast of Hanukkah, also the feast of Tabernacle, and why Christmas is not Hanukkah. That's the royal law subjective we want to look into. Like I always make it so clear. The biblical Messiah has nothing to do with Jesus. Neither Jesus have anything to do with the biblical Messiah. Jesus is a white man. Please follow your white Messiah, okay? And why the biblical Messiah is a black man. All right, now first of all, let's take the account from the New Testament for a better understanding. Because if I just start with with our book, Constantine, the founder of Christianity, okay, or Christian, removed all this book from use. We have it before, first and second book of Maccabees, okay, but they remove it. He removed it from use, but we have it, okay. thanks to Abiyahu who gave the wisdom for the internet. We have everything over here. All right. Now, I want to first of all look into the history in the New Testament. So before we now go into this historical fact, history have it. Jesus. So what is the Espanol? What are they calling Jesus? Jesus. And history have it that Jesus was being set right in the temple of Yahuwah. And now, lift Yahuwah, Yahayah, lift Yahuwah, Yahayah, 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 Abba, Yahayah, Yahayah. Lift Yahuwah, Yahayah, 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 Abba. I lift you, Yahayah. I lift you, Yahayah. I lift you, Yahayah. Lift Yahuwah. Lift Yahuwah, Yahayah. On these days, this is the one you should have been lifting higher, not of Jesus, your enemy. John chapter 10, verses 22 through 25. Pay attention, very, very close attention. Until I get this book, I never knew what was that. I would just read it and I would just go my way. I don't know what is that, because I couldn't find this feast among the one of the 7 feasts in Leviticus 23. You're going to see all the 7 feasts over there. We still have one extra in the book of Hadassah, the one you call Esther, chapter 8 through chapter 9. We see another feast over there called the Feast of Purim. The Abiyahu used Queen Hadassah and Mordecai brought deliverance unto the people of the book, even in the land of our exile. And that is a call to remark that feast year after year. That is the one that's Abiyahu. Come, when we are celebrating, we know what we celebrate, and we have the reason we celebrate, and we can recount it unto you. This is why we are celebrating. Okay, we know what we celebrate. Yahushua said unto that woman in John chapter 4, Samaritan woman, say, come over here. You, Samaritan, you celebrate whom you know not what. But we, the Yahudim, we celebrate whom we know. So in other words, what was it say? You are worshiping demon, but you think you are worshiping Almighty Yehovah. No, you are just a devil worshipper, because you don't know who you are worshiping. But we do know who we worship. We celebrate the biblical feast because there is a huge deliverance glory behind that. So what happened? What transpired on your December 25th? What is Christmas that you are celebrating? What happened? Rather, you are celebrating your own downfall. Rather, you are celebrating your own enemy who came to desecrate your temple. We are the temple that this gracious deity desecrated even still in BCE, before the birth of the biblical Messiah. That altar was profaned, was desecrated, heavily polluted on this day, December 25th. The one you celebrating your own downfall. So that's why we are doing this, to stop you not to celebrate your own downfall. Rather to revolt against your enemy that came to set himself and hide himself inside of you. All right, let me not be using my own word. Let's put in another word of Abiyahu. Like I said, pay very close attention to the 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication. And it was winter. So before I found this very historical book, and now the first book of Maccabees, the second book, and now I never knew what was that. I will just read it. It's this New Testament. It's a feast of dedication. In English, it's called dedication, but in Hebrew, it's called Hanukkah. Now, I don't know what was that. I will just, okay, what is this? Okay, I don't know, because I didn't find it in Leviticus 23. We also see the one in the book of Hadassah, chapter 8 and 9. We see what also transpired over there, the deliverance. And Mordecai and Queen Hadassah said, this one is a call for celebration every year. Thank Abiyahu for this one. That one is 2 days. This one is 8 days long. I don't know what was that until I got the full gist, story, the full matter in this very book where we will be reading from. Okay, I take it, 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication. And it was winter. This feast always come up in winter. Listen, and Yahushua walked in the temple. Uh, Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch, you see. And this feast is about rededicated the temple. So that was he purposely did it. He goes to the temple because this is the only feast where he revealed himself. And where we are also going, the very one that also Messiah typology that have the fulfillment in these very last days, okay, is called Antiochus Epiphany. So do you know what Epiphany means? They revealed God. They revealed one. All right. So on Christmas, he revealed who he is to the people of the book. And also, on this feast, Yahushua revealed, I am the true Messiah. On this feast also, he walks towards the temple. Mm? You and I are the temple. And now make yourself known. Listen, let's keep reading. Then came the Yahudims around about him, and said unto him, How long doest thou make us to doubt? If thou be the Messiah, tell us plainly. What is this for? Come, we have been waiting for this Messiah. Why are you making us to be, still suspecting? Is he the one? Or isn't he? Or is he the one? Come on now, please, just make it clear unto us. Let's see what the author of life has to say. The very Messiah that also revealed himself right in the temple. 25. Yahushua answered them, I told you, and ye believed not. Now, this is what you're going to be believing. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. So we are going out to that works. Lift Yahuwah, haya haya. Lift Yahuwah, lift Yahuwah, haya haya. There is the call for the feast to dance on your enemy's head, to dance on the dragon's head, to dance on the Jesus' head, and celebrate the one that make you to crush their head. You celebrating your enemy. You celebrating December 25th. Let's go and see what transpired on December 25th. Now, where we really want to dig into today, because the last day we still have mystery to unveil over there. I don't want us to rush it in order for us to be able to get the full understanding. So what I want us to look into today specifically has to be why the feast of Hanukkah is also the feast of a tabernacle. Why? So after we have so done, then in fact when we are looking into it, you're gonna be understanding why Christmas, why Christmas and why Hanukkah. Okay, so our own this very feast, in Gentile calendar it don't follow one date, but on our own biblical calendar 9 months is Gentile calendar 12 months. Okay, on the 15th of the 9 month in Gentile calendar is 25th, sometimes 27th, sometimes 30. It don't stand on one path. It jump up and down. So actually this is the very moment Yahushua entered into the womb. That is Luke chapter 1, when the angel Gabriel came in. This was the day he entered into the womb, the light of the world. This feast is also called dedication. Of course, it means dedication. It's also called the feast of turn on the light, the feast of light. That's why we use 7 HANUKKAH. Okay, when we come to this feast, okay, it's also called the feast of on the light, the feast of light. Turn on the light, because the light was once be switched off by the Goth Empire, by Antiochus Epiphanes, that preceded from Alexander the Great, the very first of all from the Grecian Empire. They turned on the light, excuse me. The menorah, they took it away. This menorah was being, snatched by them, excuse me. They took it away. Every gaudy verses, every articles Abba Yahweh used to deck and decorate his temple was being stripped off her by Antiochus Epiphanes. And that is you at the temple. That was why Yahushua makes himself known right also in the temple. I said, think about the work that I did in my Father's name. He has been doing it, because the one that brought about that deliverance, it was Yahudah. Yahudah, the very people that praise Yahuwah from the tribe of the biblical Messiah right now. So we want to go into that particular book and read some parts. I was saying the word. Yeah, the gracious empire took everything away, everything that has to do. They left the temple empty, and afterwards now returned back again with their madness, and then now set in the abomination of desolation. Now, what was the feast we wanted to celebrate? It was the Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacle was the very one we wanted to celebrate. When the gracious army invades Jerusalem, they capture it. And many of our people also consent. Okay, let's read. I think that would be better. So next we will now look into the fulfillment of the last. No, let me also tell you, the Feast of Hanukkah, it simply means when Antic Messiah will also reveal himself. That's why I still have fulfillment because Yahushua re-echoes it. Okay, if not, there won't be a need for that, isn't it? All right, now. All right, now I want to see. Let's see where Yahushua re-echoes it. So after this is a kind of preparing your mind. Matthew 24, verses 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. So now it happened already first. It happened even before it happened about 150 years before Messiah was birthed. Okay, but what was the nature of the Antiochus revealed? It was that they knew already because they read the stars. You know, the three wise men from Babylon read the stars. You know, of Yahushua. They caught him. But that was for good. But this ones, they were also reading his star, calculated the appointed time. They knew it's almost, drawn nigh. They now set it just to confuse our people. They now ushers in Christmas in order for them to stop celebrating the Feast of Tabernacle. Everything Abba Yahweh has for you and I is in the feast, like the Feast of Passover. What is that? What is the meaning of Feast of Passover? It is your salvation. Unleavened bread, it is your salvation. First fruit, it is your resurrection. He have perfectly done that. So the one to gonna, it is the Feast of trumpets. Okay, that is rapture. And after that, the feast, no, this one is not feast, the Day of Atonement, like a kind of second chance salvation. If you miss the first, you can still hook up with the second one. That is the national day redemption of the people of the book, because our forefather missed it. Okay, then after that, the Feast of Tabernacle, this is the last, eternal. It's a marital song. It is when the bridegroom parted his heavenly throne and come to unite with his own wife. So when that time drew nigh, the gracious took their stand against that feast and said it will never be celebrated. They now gave us now Christmas. So let's read here. So we see already, Yahushua said it's coming, which means this abomination, you're going to see it. When he stand in where is the holy place? It's the temple. The synagogue, you are the temple. And he said this abomination of death is coming again to stand in the temple. But you that knew that it's already been set, run for your life. That's why I run away from Christianity. Even my sister's brother that is still there, I run away from them. Okay? I'm talking to them from far off land. I run for my life. Salvation is personal. I run. Okay? Because when it's being set, you're going to see it. And he said judgment is also going to precede on the winter. He said, pray, yeah, that your flight. No, we'll be leaving this for the other one, for next week's Shabbat. Because the judgment, he said, is also coming on the winter. And this feast is on the winter. And the desecrated temple also. And ushers in madness on the winter, which is your Jesus Christ. Okay. Daniel chapter 7 and Daniel chapter 8. No, read the whole Daniel chapter 8 before next week Shabbat. Excuse me, not next week. Yeah, it's a high Shabbat anyway, but a week today. I want to read verses 25. Daniel chapter 7, verses 25. Hanisha is speaking about the anti-Messiah, okay? Hanisha speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto, okay, so, okay, we have already been captured. Now we are dragging our neck from their hands. Like my brothers and sisters are still over there. They are being captured because they are the saints of the Most High. You are coming out. That's why we speak. Now I said they're going to think to change the times. So what is this time? It is the appointed time. Feast Moedim. Okay. And laws, what is the law? Instead of you celebrating the law of Yahuwah in the Feast of Tabernacle, you are now celebrate the lawless one on December 25th that came to stop the law of Abba Yahuwah and ushers now his own wicked law. And he says he's going to do that. And we see he once did it. And he's still doing it again. Because it's about Messiah coming to tabernacle with his own brides. But Jesus also sneaking the pork. So we just leave the chapter 8. You can read it, okay? Next week we'll go more details. So you see now I said how they're going to change the times, okay? Change the laws. They have already perfectly done that. It's the goat empire. You also see this goat in Matthew 25, okay? You can also read it, 31 to the very end. They are goats over there. They are still among us today. Okay, let me call out the scriptures. I won't be reading this. This is for next week. Daniel chapter, okay, I read it, chapter 8, read it all, chapter 11, 30 to 32. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, 1 through, okay, 3. Okay, now I want to read the Maccabees, okay. Maccabees simply mean hammer, and the word of Abba Yahweh is a hammer, okay. But that my brother now bestowed that upon himself and said, he revolted against the gracious empire. I said, no way. That is what Daniel 11:3 or 11:30 to 32 said, that they who know the Yahuwah whom they serve shall do great exploit. He really did great exploit. This very hammer, Maccabee. So let's go there. All right, now chapter 1, first Maccabees, first book of Maccabees, chapter 1. If you have it, read it all. But we're going to be jumping some area in order for us to also look into the the chapter 4 and chapter second book also. This is the 3.1 to read. First book of Maccabees chapter 1, I read verses 1. Oh my father, I hope I will be able to do this one today. It's very small. Okay, after Alexandra the Macedonian, Philip's son, who came from the land of Shittim, you're gonna also see this Shittim in Daniel chapter 11, has prophesied, okay, had defeated Darius, king of Persia, and Medes. He became a king in his place, having first ruled in Greek. He was the first from Greek. Now this Alexander the Great, you will also see this Alexander the Great. Allah said, this Alexander the Great, Allah said it was his servant. Was it not Quran chapter 69? I will get it right in the next week. Chapter 100. No. Okay, chapter 1. Okay, no, excuse me. Chapter 69. Verses 98 through 103. I think I'm right. We'll read it next week, okay? Because they are the last empire to go. Allah said this guy was his servant, so he was pro-Islam. Okay, now we'll keep reading. He fought many battles, captured fortresses, and put the kings of the earth to death. It's by sword. This one is coming back. He advanced to the ends of the earth, gathering plunder from many nations. The earth fell silent before him, and his heart became proud and arrogant. You're going to see that arrogancy in Daniel chapter 8, because the goat was so arrogant. He collected a very strong army. And won dominion over provinces, nations, and rulers, and they paid him tribute. That is Islam. Christian, you are paying them also tribute. That is your tithe. So, see, the first fruit salary, first fruit of the year, January, you will give your own salary, you are paying them tribute. Is the system, is the good system, okay? But after all this, he took to his bed, realizing that he was going to die. He died at the age of 33. From there, him come for notable home. You will see all in Daniel chapter 8. So he summoned his noblest officers who has been brought up with him from his youth, and divided his kingdom among them. While he was still alive, Alexandra had reigned 25 excuse me, yeah, 25 years when he died. So his officers took over his kingdom, each in his own territory. And after his death, they put on diadems, and so did their sons after them for many years, multiplying evils on the earth. Okay, there spring forth from there spring from this a sinful no, what is that? A sinful root, Antiochus Epiphanes. Epiphany simply means the revealed Messiah, the revealed God. Son of the king Antiochus, once hostage at Rome, he became king in 100 and whatever year country, 70 years, okay, of the kingdom of the Greeks. So that is the guy. I don't think I will be able to read. Oh, it's almost 60 verse. Okay. In those days, there appeared in Israel, okay, transgressors of the law, who seduced many, okay, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the Gentiles, or around us, since we are separated from them, many evils have befallen them, not me. Okay, this is what our forefather always do. They always like to join with all these paganism people. So they did it. Now, Antiochus, from there he entered, they make peace agreement with them. Just as Daniel prophesied it, okay? Now what happened? One would go to where he now turned against them. Say in the midst of the seventh week, he turned against them. And now become sword. And now become, give it all away completely. If I see the law, the Bible, the Torah, if you circumcise your child, if you keep the Shabbat, if you celebrate any biblical feast, if you even still claim that you are the people of the book, you will be far gone. And that was the penalty. Okay. Let's read. Oh, my Father. Okay, I want to be reading verses where? 21. Okay, he entered. He's speaking of Antiochus, we are jumping over. I'm sorry, maybe you're not going to be enjoying it this way. I'm sorry, I don't have much room. I should have managed myself and read it all, but there's no room and I don't read fast. I'm sorry about that. He entered the sanctuary and took away the golden altar, the lampstand, which is the menorah, okay, for the light, with all its, articles. Then, offering table, he also took that away, the cups and bowls and the golden censers and the curtain, okay, and where's the other one? Okay, and the golden ornament on the, okay, and the, no, I'm sorry, of the temple, strip it all off. That is everything. Golden ornament in the temple, he stripped them all off. And the temple should have been you, and the temple that is me. Every good thing Abeyewa deposited. Antiochus Epiphanes took them all away. So let's go to where they sacrifice pig. Okay, I would still like to put this one in, the silver, yeah, because he nipped it all one by one. And he took away the silver and gold and the precious vessels. He also took all the hidden treasures he could find. Taking all this, he went back to his own country. Okay, he shed much blood and speak with great arrogance. Just go to Daniel chapter, you're going to be seeing all this over there. And there was great mourning, okay, throughout all Israel, okay, yeah, now, because you went to go and make a covenant with your enemy, and therefore you opened the door, therefore he came to steal. So that's what he did. So now he returned to his own country. So after some time he returned back. That's when he broke the covenant and said, now no more of your celebration. It was supposed to be the feast of tabernacle, because the feast of tabernacle is navigating us into where Messiah is going to be birthed. We watch for his birth through the feast of tabernacle, okay? So Antiochus returned back, he put stop. If you try anything that has to do with the royal law, you are a fire gunner. All right now. Almost the end of the covenant. Where is this verse? Okay, 29. Say, 2 years later, the king sent his messenger, his army commander, to the city of Yehuda, okay, to the cities of Yehuda, and he came to Jerusalem with his strong forces. He spoke to them deceitfully in peaceful terms, and they believed him. Then he attacked the city suddenly in a great slaughtery and destroyed many of the people of Israel. He plundered the city and set fire to it, demolished its houses and its surrounding wall. And they took captive the women, the children, and seized the animals, and they built up the city of David with a high, strong wall and strong tower, and it became their capital city. They now turned the city of Yahweh, the city of the king, into pork city. I think I'm going to be dropping this over. Let's rush down now to the very day they now begin to sacrifice and see what they did to the temple. Anyway, they removed every single thing already out of the temple. Now, how did they return? But after 2 years, he came back and now make the city of the king his own city now. And what did they do to the temple? Empty temple they robbed already. What did they put in there? And what date? I think I will also read this. I'm still checking 42 now. We are going closer. Okay, note 41. Then the king wrote to his whole kingdom that all people should be one people. That is Sharia law. And abandon their abandon their peculiar custom. All the Gentiles confirmed to be committed to the king. And many of the people also do that. They say, abandon everything you normally worship. And now we are all people. That is one word order. That is Sharia law. I don't know. We will dig more into this. Definitely we'll read it next week. Okay, I think we'll start from 44 or 45. Then the king letters. Okay, the king sent letters by messenger to Jerusalem and to the cities of Yehuda, ordering them to follow the foreign customs of the land. 45. To prohibit burnt offerings, sacrifice, and libations in the sanctuary, to profane the Shabbats and feast days, to desecrate the sanctuary and the sacred ministers, to build pagan altars and temples and shrines, to sacrifice swines and unclean animal, and to leave their children uncircumcised. We'll look into that one. So that's the part I want to read now. So let's see after they build the pagan's altar. Now, verses 54. On the 15th day of the month, that is the biblical 9th month, okay, in the year 145, the king erected the desolate erected the altar. Erected the desolating abomination upon the altar of burnt offering in the surrounding city of Yehuda, and built pagan altar. You see now on the 15th, that was the, okay, on the 15th, okay, on the 9th month, okay, he built the pagan altar. That is December 15th. It's not December. But according to Bible's biblical calendar, it will be 9 months. But in the paganism calendar, it will be 12 months. That is December 15th. This Antiochus built, or rather his messenger built, because he asked them to do that, pagan altar on the 15th. So on the 25th, let's see what happened. So according to the royal law, now that will not be 3 months and 2 months. They didn't celebrate anymore the Feast of Tabernacle. Okay, because the Feast of Tabernacle always been celebrated on the 15th of September. Okay, yes, of September. So the 15th of December, these people build their own altar and restrict the people of the book not to celebrate the biblical Messiah's birthday, but to be celebrating now the one they want to fix in now. Let's see, who was that? All right, now 50 where? Okay, 60. It's really long. Oh my. Okay, 59. Okay, let's take from 58. So 58. So they used their power against Israel, against those who were caught each month in the cities, okay? On the 25th day, that is December 25th, okay? On the 25th day, on the 25th day of each, okay, month, they sacrificed on pagan altar that was over the altar of burnt offerings. In keeping with the decree, they put to death, okay, women who circumcise their children. Okay, we'll look that one in next week. Now, it said 25th. In fact, this 25th, they don't even do it on one day, on one month. As soon as they build that altar December 25th, so now every month, they started in December 25th. So every month, they were celebrating the birthday of the Jesus. Now, when you go to one library, you're going to see the deity that's set over this gracious deity is called Jesus. History have it is called what? Jesus. Type it, go to Google, you're going to find it over there. Jesus. What was the gods they set upon? What was the gods they set upon the altar of Abeyewa? It's called Jesus. And Spanola called Jesus Jesus. It's gracious date. So now we see they not profane the altar. They not begin to sacrifice pork. That's why I always call this your guy, pork Jesus, because it's a pork. Because that was the abominable animal they now begin to sacrifice upon the altar. You are the temple. I am the temple of Yahuwah. So now you taking that pork into your temple, you desecrate the altar. So that is why it is very, very important and necessarily, okay, for you to also make your U-turn on this feast. It simply means dedication. Pull away. Okay. Oh, now we quickly have to read how it was being dedicated. Oh, my Abba. Anyway, no room to read it all. If it's possible, we can also do that next week. First Maccabees chapter 4, 36 to 50. Let me see, 50 what? 59. See, it's many verses. Then Yahudah and his brothers said, now they have already conquered. If you have read it all, they have already conquered and destroyed the entire course. And now they want to rebuild the temple. Then Yahudah and his brothers said, see, our enemies have crossed. Let us go up to cleanse the sanctuary and dedicate it. So all the army assembled and went up to Mount Zion. There they saw the sanctuary desolate, the altar profaned, and the gates burnt in the court. They saw a bush. Everything had become desert. Okay. Up to okay now, or has on one of the mountains. So the temple had become desert, wilderness. They saw also the chambers of the prince in. Okay, let me just leave all those parts. It's through 29. No. Pains me that I couldn't read it. 59, excuse me. Okay, let me start from 52 now. Early in the morning on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is the month, okay, 9th month, okay, in the 148 years, they rose and offered sacrifice. They rose and offered sacrifice as the Lord direct on the new altar of burnt offering. And they built that they had built 54 at the very season and on the very day that the Gentiles had profaned it. It was dedicated with songs and harps and lutes and crying bells. All the people fell on their faces and worshipped and blessed heaven, who had prospered them. So they celebrate the dedication of the altar for 8 days and joyfully offered burnt offerings. They offered a sacrifice of well-being and a thanksgiving offering. They dedicated the temple unto Yahuwah. You see, so on that same day, December 25th, they profaned it. That was the day. That is why we celebrate. Now you know why we celebrate on these days. So now you know the reason why we celebrate on these days. So 2 Maccabees chapter 10, verses 1 through 7, that is where you're not going to see, say, as the feast, they dedicated 8 days, just as the Feast of Tabernacles. He said, because it was on the Feast of Tabernacle, it was the Feast of Tabernacle they wanted to celebrate. When Antiochus Epiphanes came in, stumbled at them, and put stop to all those wonderful celebrations. So on the very day they set Jesus, Jesus, on the temple, so that was still the same day they dedicate that altar. So that is why we dedicate our soul, spirit, and body unto Abayewa on these days. Now remember, Yahushua said that abomination of desolation is coming right back again. Say you this, so you're gonna see it. When it was first of all being said, we see it. And this Yehuda and his family fled. They run away for their life. They want to go hide themselves somewhere in a mountain. Okay, they run. Just as Messiah said, he quoted from this book. Okay, so when you see it, don't even run for. Don't go in. Just run for your life. Okay. Now we see it said is that act is coming right back. It simply means Sharia law by sword. And what we read from chapter 1, we're gonna. I think next week I'm gonna really settle down and read that for you to know what is coming for you. If you know what has been done for you, it will be very easy for you to prepare yourself for the second, for the Sharia law, the Great Tribulation, the war, the Third World War is coming right back again. These are all Grecian's empire. The Goat Empire is coming right back. And we'll see that Alexandria is Allah's servant. And Allah is the last head to go. The Islam, the last head to go. Okay, they are coming to rule for 1,000. Okay, yeah, also, and not that day. I bet you want to confirm Quran. That is the word. You want to confirm Quran for the word for 1,000 years. Since he gave you the truth, you couldn't handle it and you'll believe a lie. Therefore, it's going to handle you to a lie in order for you to not believe them. So we'll look into that. So why are we doing this? It's for you to know what is coming for you. When you know what has been done, therefore as it's coming, you will know how to put yourself in order. That is to repent, to return back to Abba Yahuwah. If not, you're going to be taking a lie. Christian is not enforcing it. Christian is not using no sword. Though they use sword, okay, to plant it, to push it forward. But Nana is already being established. They speak with their deceitful voice. Okay? They are deceiving you. But Islam is by sword. So we'll look into that next week. That is the feast of Hanukkah. It still have its fulfillment of Sharia law not yet been done. So I will settle myself and read all this. I think that is the book we're just going to read. We're going to discuss that book, chapter 1, chapter 4, and second one. We're going to read it down, and that is the book we want to read. We will not talk too much, because this one I really talk too much. Thank you, Abba, on this wonderful day. Thank you for the dedication. Thank you for giving us back our Messiah. Hallelujah, in your mighty name. Thank you for removing pork. Thank you for putting your son in there, in your mighty name, in order for us to celebrate your goodness, to celebrate your power, to celebrate your love in your mighty name. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So, shalom, family. See you next week on this day. We'll talk about